Hello, everyone. We're getting back on the podcast grind. We've taken a little bit of time off to get it looking a little better, a little more professional looking. But we will dive right back into our analysis on all things sports. So, as we'll just quickly reintroduce ourselves. So, I'm Ashwin.
I'm Sahil.
And we're back. We're back at it. So we'll kind of start off with just like some like miscellaneous sports things. I think most of the focus in this podcast will generally be about NBA and NFL. But I think there's a couple things we can kind of go around and talk about. So I think, as I mentioned before, I'm not a huge soccer expert, but I like to watch it. So I think we can probably start talking about the World Cup that's up and coming.
Love to get started on that. So we got the World Cup coming, I think, in a little less than a week's time now. Super excited because we haven't seen one in like 4.5 years now. Not great what's going on in Qatar, but that's just the business behind FIFA. A lot of teams are competing this year. You got France, Argentina, Brazil is expected to win it all, but the number one team actually before the tournament has never won the actual World Cup, which is kind of crazy.
Really?
The number one projected team, yeah. Oh, wow. Never won the World Cup, so it's not looking great for Brazil, but they do have a very talented team. U.S., we'll see what happens.
We're better than usual.
Yeah, I guess. At least we made the World Cup. England left out some big names. Some big names were injured, but I think they'll still be good. I think a few other teams like Netherlands, Belgium have a fighting chance, but I think in my prediction it's mainly going to be between Brazil, Argentina, France. That's what I think. But
France is always up there, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you got Mbappe and Benzema up there,
yeah,
you can do some damage. I'm super excited for that. I'm going to watch the games. They start at 5 a.m. here, which is pretty crazy. That's just the West Coast. But, no, I'm super hyped. And I think it's kind of a bummer, though, because there's going to be a lot of players that are injured. Like the injured FIFA World Cup 11, honestly, could probably compete to win the whole thing because they're that good. I'm super, super excited. Probably be some upsets. Just wanted to get that on y'all's radar if you're soccer fans or looking to get into the sport because it's really fun to watch, and World Cup is great for culture and everything, like just the hype behind it, all the fans. There's so many Brazil fans in Qatar, which is crazy. I think it'll be.
I wonder what that is.
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. There's a bunch of Latin American fans there, but
interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Okay, so I guess kind of moving off that. I don't know too much about this, but I know there's been a lot of Ronaldo did an interview with.
I forget with who, but
I think it was Piers Morgan. Right?
Yeah, Piers Morgan. Yeah.
And I guess he kind of tore into Man United.
His
current team and.
Yeah, the coach.
I saw him tear to Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
I feel like the end of a legend's career is always a little awkward.
Yeah.
They don't know that they're not as good as they used to be.
Yeah. But I think he's probably saying this because after the World Cup he's going to move teams. It'd be really weird if he stayed at United after the World Cup because
I think he's just trying to put pressure on him to get him out of town.
Well, I think now he's got to leave. He's got to go somewhere. But the thing is, he said some pretty he just called him straight out. He's the coach does not respect me. He says, forget his daughter or something his son or daughter was super sick and they're really young for a week, and he said the Man United coaches didn't believe him and they got mad at him for missing practice and stuff. Wow. And there was a bunch of players on the team and upper management that were trying to push him out of the team and just not respecting him. That's been tough, I think. But yeah,
we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Ronaldo. Honestly, I don't think he could go to a team where he's not the star because he just has too big of a personality. So honestly, I could even see him coming to Chelsea because we don't have a striker right now.
The MLS.
You could see.
Is it too early?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants that. It'll be
Yeah.
He would have a chance to prove himself after this Man United stuff, which I think is what he wants to do.
That's fair.
So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, and I'll also, I guess we can transition and talk about the UFC card that was this weekend.
Yeah.
It was a pretty crazy one.
I've heard.
I think I'll just kind of quickly give a little rundown on it. And,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure even if you don't watch UFC, I'm sure you've heard of Israel Adesanya, and he was he's one of the I guess best that the sport's seen. And he he was fighting this guy that beat him in kickboxing way before he joined the UFC, and that guy beat him twice in kickboxing, knocked him out cold, and this guy literally like hunted him down, joined the UFC, and like kept beating people just so he could fight him again, and then he beat him. And
That's crazy.
And it was again like Adesanya was winning the whole fight, and this guy just knocked him out at the end. So it was a crazy one. And then the other one was Michael Chandler and like Dustin Poirier, and that was just a bloodbath of a fight.
Really? I feel like Poirier's in a lot of bloodbaths.
He is. Poirier's a fun fighter. But Michael Chandler, he just joined the UFC like 4 fights ago, and he never wins.
Oh, really?
He's won a couple, but he's just so entertaining. And he's not like a bad fighter. It's just that he's more. Sometimes people think he's more worried about being entertaining than like winning the fight, which is like the exact opposite that people would say about Israel Adesanya. So it's like interesting. He's always getting big fights because he's an exciting fighter.
Yeah,
but it was a great card, and we'll see what the next one.
Poirier won.
Poirier won, yeah. Okay. I mean, Chandler was actually winning most of the fight, but he got submitted at the end.
Oh damn.
But yeah, I think that's kind of like random. We'll just like kind of do this. The podcast will do some like sports news. I think most of it will probably be soccer focused for the most part.
Yeah.
If there's any other
random news
we can get to, but.
Yeah, I think going forward, with the World Cup, a lot of it will probably be soccer. But thanks for that UFC. That was pretty interesting. I got a lot of texts in all caps saying these fights were crazy.
Yeah,
like when I woke up in the morning. So
yeah, I'll get you into it at some point.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's a little barbaric, but
But
once you there is a lot of like technicality to it.
Yeah.
Get into it to understand.
I feel like you have to appreciate. I mean, it's fun obviously when dudes knock each other out and stuff.
Yeah, but it's kind of messed up too.
Yeah, but I guess when that doesn't happen, you have to appreciate the technical aspects, which I don't know.
It's hard to understand. Yeah,
first sports with balls,
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair. I used to be that way. Yeah, all right. So I think that's kind of like our quick little like update in the sports world. But we will, like I said, mostly focus on like the NBA and then NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll try to like even maybe at times dabble like college sports and stuff. But But yeah, I don't think we like reintroduced the name of this podcast. So we're the Taylor Park Boys.
Yeah.
And it's because we live on Taylor Street in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fun little quip.
All right. So now we're gonna get into the NBA. There were some exciting games over the past couple of days, and we've seen the stars come out once again, which is good to see after, we've had a lot of weird teams sitting up at the top of like the West, for example.
The Jazz are still kind of hanging in there. They've started losing a few now.
Yeah.
Coming a little bit back down to earth, but Laurie's been still killing it.
Yeah. I think we'll start to see that second wave. Usually when teams are coming out excited, some teams who did really well last year, like just wait,
They wait,
try as hard as they can, as we've seen with a few teams.
Yeah.
The Lakers are a little.
The Lakers are just not very good.
They're just bad. But yeah, why don't we start with Joel Embiid's performance?
Yeah, he had like 59 points. I don't know, like 8 rebounds, 7 blocks.
Yeah.
Like 8 assists. I don't even know. He almost had a quadruple double with a 60-point game. Which was just psychotic. I feel like Embiid's one of those like superstars that's like kind of been slept on of late. Like not like everyone knows he's like Embiid and great, but it's like now with Harden's out for like I guess he's still got like 2 more weeks and like he was like out for a month.
Mm-hmm.
So Embiid is just carrying them on his back. And
yeah,
Maxi's been really good too.
Yeah, Maxi was good. He was good last year. I knew he was going to kind of be a beast this year.
Yeah,
stepping into that starting role, solidified basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the 2 guys that are, I think, going to have to carry him. Tobias will have to be helpful, but, he's more of a in spurts guy.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's just...
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess we can... that was just a crazy performance. I mean, and then, Luka's been putting up crazy numbers throughout the season.
Finally came down to earth, right, with...
He had a couple bad games against Orlando. Yeah, I think they were both against Orlando, actually.
Yeah. But he's a beast, I mean...
Yeah.
He's so good. I still feel like he needs a little more help, though, for that team to make a deep run, Like, Wood has been good, I think.
Yeah, I mean, losing Brunson hurts.
Yeah.
And they
have shooters.
Wood's been good. They've got shooters, but... Yeah, I mean, their formula is Luka hold the ball for 15 seconds of the shot clock, and then hopefully find some miraculous pass out to, like, a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, or just
which
take
isn't
himself.
Yeah, or just take himself. But, I mean, as far as we were kind of mentioning it, there's a couple surprise teams. I mean, the Jazz have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs have been better than people thought. They've come down to earth a little bit, but these are teams that people were thinking would be in the, like the lottery running.
Yeah, Cavs have been doing pretty well. I think they've started as of late, but
I thought they would take a little bit of time to gel, but they've been playing really well.
Yeah,
Donovan's been playing well. Darius Garland was hurt for a bit, came back, and now he had a 50-point game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was with Mitchell out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm still kind of skeptical of those two playing together because, like...
Yeah, in the playoffs.
I don't know. Garland is, hasn't been doing as well with Mitchell out there, I feel like. But Mitchell's been kind of excelling, and then once Mitchell,
Yeah,
game off.
I mean, we talked about this a while ago, but I guess we didn't actually record it, unfortunately. But I would not buy too much stock on the Cavs.
Yeah.
I don't think they're a really good team, but I think they don't have that, no disrespect to Garland or Mitchell. They're not the kind of player that I look at and say can be the best player on a championship team.
I think for that team to be really good, Mobley's going to have to become a really good player, like an Anthony Davis type.
Yeah.
Just an insane scorer, do it all defensively too.
Yeah, and Mobley's really good, but
he's good. Yeah,
I think he's maybe one more year away from being that guy.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see.
But yeah, I mean, so speaking of lottery picks, I mean. So, we can't go without speaking about Wembanyama.
Yeah.
He's still putting up crazy. I mean, I always see on my Twitter timeline he'll do some crazy floater from the 3-point line or something, and he's a 7 foot. He's 7'4" or something. This guy handles. He's a mix of KD, early Giannis, and Porzingis maybe. He's just
that was skinny, tall dude, but. He's crazy. I mean,
but I did show you that video of him falling down, and he looked like a giraffe was falling.
Yeah,
that's actually jokes aside. That's kind of concerning though, because
scary. Yeah,
he's so tall that when he falls and his weight gets on him, he could get pretty badly injured.
I mean, he get undercut or something. I don't know. That fall looked really bad, out of nowhere. But he was fine.
He was fine.
It's damn, that was crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a generational talent. They're saying he's the best draft prospect probably ever.
I mean, he looks genetically modified to be the best basketball player of all time.
Yeah, he's he's built to be.
What is this? I mean, if he gets some muscle on him, that dude's gonna be.
And he doesn't look scrawny. Chet looks scrawny.
Yeah. I mean, Chet is a stick. Though.
Yeah, but Wembanyama looks
Yeah, but he's gonna get some more muscle on him.
It'd be crazy if OKC gets him.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then they could and Shea's been so good.
Yeah.
He's been.
I mean, I would if they get him, they can honestly compete for the championship.
You think right away?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think he's gonna be insane.
I think Chet's gonna be really good.
Chet will be good. He'll put on some muscle, obviously, this year.
Yeah.
He's just a tall. He'll be good. He'll put up a double, 11 every game, something like that.
I expect Chet to be better. Maybe not right away, but he's got a year with NBA conditioning staff now.
Yeah.
No more school, none of that. So
he can focus
full time. The injuries are obviously concerning for him, but but then Wembanyama's even taller than Chet. So.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. But I think
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see where he ends up. That's gonna be.
Yeah.
I think as the season. Insane. Yeah, as when the draft lottery happens, that's gonna be a crazy time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be insane. And just to see him play, see what he can do in the NBA, the first couple of games.
Yeah. It's gonna be a spectacle. Yeah.
But I feel that whoever gets him is trying to has to be able to compete within the first couple of years because that dude is just insane. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's gonna be a project to an extent.
I agree, yeah, but you want to get the ground running as soon as possible because his career is your timeline. You never know how long that's gonna last. So.
The cool thing too is it's gonna be such a spectacle when he finally steps foot on an NBA court, kind of LeBron, because people only saw LeBron in high school and he didn't play in college. Mm-hmm. Similarly, Wembanyama's not playing college; he's in France. Mm-hmm. So this will be the first time the general public sees this kid. Yeah. So that first game he plays is going to be sold out crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever team he goes to, those tickets are going to skyrocket.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fortune changing. So
yeah.
It's going to be I think when the draft lottery gets announced, it's going to be it's going to feel like somebody won a championship.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, so speaking of teams that could be in the running for Wembanyama, there have been some surprises.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, obviously I don't expect these to completely hold up, but the Timberwolves haven't been very good. Lakers haven't been notably very bad. Mm-hmm. And then the Warriors for some reason have just been they're a one man show right now.
Literally just Steph. I mean, but he's putting up some crazy numbers.
And Steph is single handedly
the rest of their team is like
Clay's been off, and you know Clay goes on like these shooting slumps, but this one looks a little different. Like he just like doesn't look like he has confidence.
Yeah, I mean honestly, like he did play well in some games in the playoff last year, but I still don't think he was like great.
He wasn't Klay Thompson, like we were used to.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely like gonna take it. Like he's not going to be the second option on this team anymore.
No, it's Wiggins. Wiggins has actually been good this year.
Wiggins has been good. Pool's been like on and off.
Pool's been very on and off.
Yeah.
And then Draymond, I mean, like, I don't know. I haven't seen much from him. I mean, it's just... And then Wiseman's been, like, kind of up and down, so...
He hasn't been getting it... Like, him and Looney have been kind of...
He doesn't get a lot of minutes, but his timeline doesn't really meet their timeline. Like him and Kuminga are, like, developing players. So then, like, Moody as well. Like, it's, like, a weird... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for them to be, like... At one point, they were, like, 2-7. I think, what are they now? Like, 5-8?
5-8,
So they've won a couple games, but, like...
Yeah.
Like for a team like that, I mean, this kind of like is kind of parallels like the Rams in the NFL, you know, like
just
championship hangover. But in the NBA, you can afford it. In the NFL, you can't really. It's only 17 games, but
I think the Warriors are turning around though. Like they'll start gelling again. It's just a matter of time with them. I think they're still getting over everything with Draymond, Poole. Like everyone's a bit uptight right now, but I think except obviously Steph because he's just a baller. But
Steph is putting up like crazy numbers. Yeah,
like 47 and then like 40 something again.
He's at a couple 40s, and he's also, I think he's leading them in like assists, rebounds, points, field goal percentage, obviously 3-point percentage, free throw. Like he's literally like he's putting up LeBron numbers as a 6'3" guy. So
that's insane.
But then the Lakers, they're just not good. Like, they're trash. I think AD, like we talked about this, but AD like he's still gonna put up good numbers, and he has the ability to like the stat sheet will look good. Like he'll put up 23 on like 8 of 15, but like he doesn't have that like carry a team mentality anymore.
Yeah, I mean he's not him anymore.
He's not him. He's not him.
So,
he's not
that guy that's gonna
And LeBron looks like the worst LeBron's looked.
I think so. He's injured too now, right?
Now he's hurt.
But I mean, you could tell like age is catching up to him a bit.
The Westbrook bench move actually has worked out for Westbrook. Westbrook's actually been the least of their concerns.
Yeah, I mean, the last game he was pretty poor. He was like 4 for 15 from the field.
Yeah,
I mean, he hasn't been doing. Generally, he's been like okay.
But again, like this makes me think like they got to start putting pressure on the front office ownership because I mean like it was everyone blamed Frank Vogel last year. It wasn't like it's gotten worse this year. And they're just not. I don't know. They're just not a good team. I don't know. They don't have very. They lost Malik Monk from last year. Like they lost some of the like outside talent they had.
Lonnie Walker's been honestly decent. But
he has, but
he's like their best, like their scorer right now. Honestly, in some games.
Yeah, Lonnie Walker. Yeah, that's extremely concerning. I mean, like, and I kind of like fell for it, and I was like, okay, like they've got LeBron, they've got AD, but then when I watch this team play, it's like that doesn't matter. LeBron is not LeBron from 5 years ago. He's still a good player.
Yeah.
AD is not AD from 5 years ago. That's when he's healthy. And then Westbrook is clearly just a shell of himself. And Pat Bev has been pretty atrocious as well.
I mean, I hate Pat Bev. So
I have a love-hate relationship with Pat Bev because I like respect how he usually plays. This year he hasn't been great, but.
I mean, but like
he's kind of
just like talks and shit and doesn't do that much. I feel like he's good defensively, but
I think Pat Bev is one of those guys you love on your team. But
he's like a Draymond type.
He's like a Draymond type, yeah.
But I would take Draymond over him.
I mean, Draymond's bigger, taller, but Draymond's been atrocious this year.
He's
so
been bad.
I mean, that's the thing. Like intangibles only matter to an extent. You have to be able to put the ball in the basket.
So exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Lakers. They might like end up with like a slightly better record, and they might make the playoffs, but they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think the West will be like similar, kind of to who's been competing.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say the Mavericks will always have a chance just because they have Luka, but I don't think they have enough like depth right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
I guess the Suns.
The Suns are always going to be there. They've been playing well, and they're
regular season team though.
Regular season team, the Suns. I think the Warriors will turn it around.
Yeah, the Warriors will be fine.
I think.
I don't know. I think the Warriors will probably still come out of the West because the West it's still not that great.
Yeah.
You look at it top to bottom. It's like who's really going to be able to compete by the end of the year.
I mean, I'm like blanking right now. Like who will be able to compete? I mean, like the Timberwolves. Like we didn't really talk about them.
Like could be, but like
they're still. I mean, Jamal Murray still has shelled himself.
Yeah.
Porter Jr. still getting back.
So.
Yeah, I mean he's. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's not too much in the West.
Yeah.
The Clippers, I mean, Kawhi, like, we should probably talk about that. Kawhi's been not playing. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the deal is. He had a partial tear of his ACL about a year and a half ago. And, like, now it's like he doesn't even play. And they like, I heard a rumor about, like, him potentially thinking that he has tendonitis. But I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how bad tendonitis usually is not like a terrible injury though. Like you rest for like a month and then back at most.
This is just how Kawhi is. Like you're never gonna find out anything about what's going on.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been playing. Paul George has been playing well. I think Norman Powell was struggling at the beginning of the year. He's picked it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they do have some good scores. Like Kawhi can be there by the playoffs. Like this team's always gonna have a chance. You know.
Yeah.
That's all you need, honestly.
I mean, they're decent. Yeah, they're one of the contenders. I would definitely say. It's just a little concerning that he's not playing games at all.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But we'll find out something hopefully soon on him.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of other teams. I mean, the Heat haven't been very good at all either.
Yeah, no, they've been trash.
It's
kind of
weird.
crazy.
It's weird. I think they they're one of those teams that they win games because they are like buttoned up.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily out talent teams. So
not at all.
Their coaching team, I mean, like Spoelstra's a great coach, but maybe they just took the season for granted a bit to start. I think they'll figure it out.
I think they did. I think they'll be fine.
Well coached teams, I usually like will figure it out.
Yeah.
The Bucks have been incredible.
Yeah, they've been great.
I think the East has kind of flipped the tide. Like the East is the dangerous conference right now.
Yeah. I mean, the top two teams that we thought were going to be at the top are pretty much at the top: the Bucks and the Celtics.
Yeah.
So I mean, both those teams have looked very good.
Yeah.
I think Brogdon has helped the Celtics a lot this year, which is like good for them. If they had Gallinari, that would have been.
So I guess the Nets are also whatever the Nets are. They're there.
I mean,
if Kyrie comes back, if he doesn't, and then obviously they were talking about hiring Udoka, but then they didn't.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on with the Nets. I'm like, if I'm KD, like I'm so fed up at this point.
Yeah.
And like I don't like completely leave him blameless, but like for the most part, it's not his fault. He's not supposed to be Kyrie Irving's like personal assistant. He's just there to play basketball.
They're just, I mean. I don't see them going.
They're a dumpster fire.
Like, maybe they can pull something together by the end of the year, but
I mean they're talented enough to always like have a shooting chance.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Packers. It's like they have the talent because of like one guy, but exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I still think it's gonna. I'm still just predicting Bucks Celtics Eastern Conference Finals again.
Bucks Celtics, yeah.
If everyone stays healthy, like the normal guys.
That's fair.
Once Middleton comes back. I mean,
a sneaky team is the Hawks. They're not like talked about, but after adding Murray and like they've got some talent, but they're not.
They're good.
They're not that deep either. So
they're not. Yeah, they traded away Herter and
that was a big loss.
Yeah, and what's his name? Is Bogdanovich still on the team or?
I think Bogdanovich should be still on the team.
Yeah, I think
he's always good in the playoffs too, and
he's on and off.
On and off, yeah.
But yeah, John Collins is a beast. I mean, they do have some good players, like for sure. Clint, but they could make a run, I think, but I don't think they're better than either of those two teams.
Again, it goes back to this whole thing is like interesting. Like the Bulls are there, right? But they're not a great team, and they're not going to beat a good team in the playoffs. It's just it's like very like this is like we had this argument last week, but it's very interesting. It's like when you're like a team in the middle, it's so tricky to like just keep running it back every year. Like the tanking thing, like I always like think about it, I'm like.
Yeah.
Like maybe we can maybe we just punt this season and try to get. I mean, you don't even get Wembanyama. You get like some dude that can come around and change your franchise. It's it's tough. It's tough as like a team in the middle. Like obviously you're alienating like your fan base and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can also do stuff like the Lakers are doing, right? And just sit put. And the Lakers will probably be by the end of the season a mid team. Like they'll probably be middle of the pack, and that's just not like.
Yeah.
Like, the Lakers probably would have been better off and they might still be better off trading LeBron and, like, blowing it up.
I think they are, honestly, because I don't see them doing anything. Like, the problem is, too, if you have LeBron on your team, like, you're not going to tank. Unless he's injured.
But that's my question. So, like, the Bulls are, like, a good example, and, like, there's a couple other teams, like... do you trade DeRozan, Levine, like, blow Vucevic, like... Because these guys have value. Like, a good team would want these guys.
I mean, I think... I don't know. I'm a Bulls fan from Chicago, so I wouldn't. But I think if you can add like a big guy, another like great player to the Bulls, like that team can compete. So it's between like you getting rid of those two players or you adding one.
But you say because you're a Bulls fan, but honestly, would you rather be an Orlando Magic fan right now or a Bulls fan? I would easily rather be a Magic fan because they've committed to the tank.
Yeah, they have.
Now they've got so much talent on
pieces. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like the Bulls are like you get one big guy or like one like great.
They got player. The big guy. And like
Vooch's ass.
I think Vooch is good. I think Vooch is a good player.
He's good, but he's not going to do anything in the playoffs. Like,
but that's the thing. Like who is that one guy that you're going to get?
I mean, you need to go after like someone big. Like that's what I thought the Bulls should have done this offseason. Like, because Lonzo was like coming back kind of injured. Like, we weren't going to have a ton of pieces. Like,
yeah,
I think you needed like. I don't know who exactly, but you need to go after like.
But you're basically implying that you need to like they're one superstar away, basically like a superstar. Like they need their best player. They need to get one player that would automatically be their best player.
I agree.
I feel like you're more likely to do that in a draft than like.
Yeah, but then you're getting rid of your supporting players to get that player in the draft. You know.
Yeah, so I mean you're basically punting the next few years.
Yeah.
And you're saying.
I just feel like the Bulls did too much to get DeRozan and like Vooch and everything.
I agree. I was never a huge fan of that move. Like I think it was a great story. Like DeRozan was really good and everything. But all year last year, I was like, they haven't been a good team. DeRozan, like there's a reason Masai Ujiri is one of the best GMs. He traded DeRozan away for Kawhi. Like there's a clear like gap between a Kawhi level player and a DeRozan level player.
No, I agree.
And I really like DeRozan. I like Levine for the most part. Levine doesn't play much defense, but I like Vucevic. I love Caruso. They've got good players. I think they can win a playoff series, but like how much do you really value?
I mean, I think going into like the playoffs, like I think like looking at the Bulls Bucks matchup, like that's kind of like characteristic. Like I thought the Bulls were going to be able to better handle like Giannis. Like someone was going to be able to guard him a little bit better, like Vooch and Pat Williams.
Yeah, and I don't mean to just go after the Bulls. There's the best example I have here in my head. But a lot of teams in the NBA, it's because we're both from Chicago. It's just a good example.
But I feel like it's hard, like, because every year there's only, like, 2 or 3 real contenders that you think are going to win, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, what the rest of the teams just punt it? Like,
I think,
like the Mavs,
we kind of argued about this earlier. I think this year in particular, I play my odds and try to get the number 1 pick just because there's a generational player. In other years, it's debatable. I still don't think I don't think there's as much, and it gets like trickier now that they added like I guess 11 teams make it. So now some GMs are like, oh, we can make the play-in tournament, and rather than tank. But I don't know. I think like being in the middle is worse than being a really bad or really good team in the NBA. That's just the way it's built. I mean, fair or not? Like I don't think it's fair. Like I think especially from like a entertainment standpoint, you don't want that to be the case.
Yeah.
And I think
there's pros and cons both because like the Hawks one was it like 2 years ago, like no one expected them to make the Eastern Conference Finals, but they made the playoffs. They had like a really good player. Like they weren't gonna win.
They weren't gonna win.
They weren't gonna win all, but they still like went really far.
I mean, if Giannis had torn up his knee like people thought he did, then maybe they would have made the finals. Yeah. They would have gotten worked by the Suns. But I mean,
even like the Mavs, like they still beat this. Like no one.
Yeah.
Like no one thought really the Suns were frauds. Like honestly, going. Up until that series, I feel like
I was never like thinking I didn't think the Suns could beat the Warriors, but
no, I agree.
But
you thought they were gonna get past the Mavs,
I did, but that was because I thought Ayton was gonna be utilized better, and I think that was the whole issue this summer. He wanted their money, and I think he deserved it. They just didn't utilize him well enough. Because the first couple games in that series, he was dominating, and then they just kind of went away with.
Yeah, I didn't understand the coaching in that series by the end of it,
But I mean, it's a tough one. It was just like a question I've always had in my head is like, would I rather be
it's a fair
winning some games? Yeah, because then your fans are happy for like a little bit, but then you get to the playoffs and it's the same story every year. It's like
I think with some teams it is, but other teams like
their fortunes change.
I don't know. Yeah, like, I mean, because you like for example like the Sixers, like you think they'll make it, but they'll probably lose to like the Celtics or the Bucks or something.
But see, the Sixers to me they have a legitimate chance because Embiid. Like they're and I think I can list out in my head. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing someone. But players that I actually think can be the best player on a championship team are probably Tatum, Embiid, Giannis, Durant. Like I would say a year ago, LeBron, but probably not anymore.
Yeah.
Curry, Luka, Jokic. Like I might have.
Yeah.
Don't think I missed anyone. Kawhi when he's healthy.
Yeah.
So those are all players that are like, you have to be, for the most part, unless you're Steph Curry, you have to be above 6'6". It's just
I agree.
But
you need to be tall. I think that's why I like Tatum, because if you would have asked me like a year ago, like Tatum has been pretty much getting better every year, but I still would have said there's no way he can be the best player in a championship team.
That's fair. I think Tatum's borderline for me.
I think he took a huge jump though last year. Obviously,
he
didn't show in the finals, but
I mean, he outplayed KD. Which
exactly.
That was. I mean, you're right. There are guys that are gonna like randomly like kind of jump up and be that guy. I think Ja's borderline. I just don't think he's tall enough. Is my issue.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Ja's a tough one actually, but
like if I'm I think the Grizzlies. I would not like. I think the Grizzlies are all in. Like they're a good enough team to like make us play. I don't think they're going to win anything, but I think they're a good enough team to compete for it. The T-Wolves thought they were, but yeah. I mean Zion can be, or Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
Those are guys that you can see because they're tall.
Yeah.
And lanky, like they're tall and long.
Yeah.
But and the Pelicans are a sneaky one. Like they've been kind of injured, I think, but when Zion and Ingram are playing together, they're playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, they got CJ, too. They got a good team, honestly.
CJ's really good. Valanciunas. They got those other two guys, Trey Murphy and who's the other guy? Herbert Jones.
Yeah, Herb Jones is more defensive. But
they're all, like, good, like, buy-in players.
Yeah.
Alvarado's a pest.
Oh, yeah.
So, he's like the new Pat Bev. So that's another team, actually. Like, completely forgot about them, but they're pretty slept on. They're a good team. But yeah, so what about MVP frontrunners? I think it's still Luka.
Yeah. Luka, I mean, Embiid is making his case more. Obviously, Giannis is up there. How he's been playing.
I saw this on like The Herd with Colin Cowherd, but he was comparing Luka's Mavs situation to Josh Allen and the Bills. Like, maybe not like a perfect comparison, but like they look like unbelievable. But it's part of it is just because like they're really talented, but they will have like bad moments and stuff where like if they have that, it's way more noticeable because their team is just going to lose. It's like you can't like if you like other star quarterbacks and other star players can get away with a couple bad moments and their team will still win. Like if Giannis plays like slightly off his game, so that's why I think Luka should be the front runner because he really can't play bad for them to
no, he can't. I mean with all these other guys, I feel like Giannis is like. Without Middleton, I feel like he can't really play bad. Otherwise, they lose. But
Holiday's been really good this year.
Holiday's been really good, but I don't think he's enough for them to like.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing really bad teams.
Middleton should be back soon, I think.
Yeah, I think he will be.
Embiid, obviously, he's got to be up there just because of how well. I think even before the 59-point game, he had like 42 and 10 or something.
Yeah. Embiid will be up there again. How's the Joker been this year?
Joker's been good. He hasn't actually put up like crazy scoring numbers though. Like, Last night he had I checked, he had 8 points, but it was on 4 of 4 shooting. But then he had 10 rebounds, 12 assists. So I just think Joker, he will have some crazy numbers, but he's
4, that's what
he's and they won the game pretty easily. So it's just kind of one of those.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think he's more focused on getting Porter Jr. and Murray comfortable because I think that's more important to him right now. He's got 2 MVPs. He's not. Yeah, he doesn't need an MVP.
He does not.
They want to win.
If they can get those two guys where they were at, in the bubble almost, or Porter next year, but they can be scary.
And that's that could be a great big 3. Then Curry's got to be somewhat up there. Their team's just not winning, but the only reason they've won 5 games is because of him.
Yeah.
So
they'll be up there by the end of the season. He probably won't win it, but I think honestly this year it might go to Luka just because
it just feels like it's trending in direction.
Yeah, he's going to be a beast.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah, but I think like we've said a couple times, the NBA is very slow moving in the sense there's always games every day, but it's 82 game season, so there's not going to be too much. Things might change here and there, but there's not too much. Obviously, there's going to be random crazy shit like the Kyrie Irving situation and stuff. But but I think that's kind of we've kind of hit everything about the NBA.
Yeah.
But we can move over to the NFL.
Yeah, you mentioned Josh Allen. Let's start with the insane game of the week, the Bills and the Vikings. Yeah,
that was a crazy game, and that was a game that I thought once the Bills went up, I think they were up 10 fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I could have we were watching Red Zone, but could have had that turned off and been very confident that the Bills were going to win that. I was okay, the Vikings are okay, but they didn't play anyone. The Bills are
exactly
the Bills, and but credit to the Vikings.
Yeah.
But this one's on Josh Allen, I think.
Yeah. He threw a couple of bad picks.
He was also really good.
He was
at times. Like that's what I'm saying.
The first half.
But that's what I'm saying about Josh Allen. It's like I was saying with Luka, like his errors are so magnified. Like Patrick Mahomes threw a really bad pick in the game against the Jaguars too. But like their offense isn't Patrick Mahomes or bust. You know, they have other.
Yeah.
It's so that's.
No, I agree.
That might be a little bit on the coaching, in my opinion. But Josh Allen's also just crazy talented. It's just sometimes I think he forgets that, like, because he's so talented, he forgets to, like, make the right.
I don't know though. I feel like it's weird because like the Chiefs, I feel like they're running these games.
Well, their running game's okay, but they have Andy Reid and
I guess the play
Eric Bieniemy. The play calling's a lot. I think it's a coaching thing.
The coaching,
and also just like obviously it's Allen and Diggs on offense, but
I mean they don't have too much more. I mean Mahomes doesn't have a ton now that Tyreek's.
Now that Tyreek's gone,
he's still doing what he's doing.
He's still doing what he's doing.
Mahomes is like the closest to Allen, I think.
Yeah, I mean I think Mahomes is the front runner for MVP now, but
yeah, for sure.
But I think Allen can easily get it back with a couple of good games because his good games are like crazy.
Yeah, his good games he goes off. The thing I still don't trust the Bills though because of his. I mean, he is their whole offense. Don't get me wrong. When he makes errors, they are a little magnified. But some of his interceptions are just like.
Oh, I agree.
What are
like
you doing?
It's on him. Like he throws some bad picks.
Yeah.
But
I think, that's gonna hurt in the play because Mahomes does throw picks, but like.
Oh, he's definitely you trust him decision making wise.
I trust him a little bit more than Allen, like obviously, but at the end of games. Just because of what he's shown in the playoffs and like.
Yeah. And moving to the Vikings, do we trust them or is that still TBD? Because that was a signature win.
That was, but I feel like they also got really lucky.
They got really lucky, but you know what?
But
winning a close game against, I mean, granted the Bills never win close games. It feels like, but winning a close game against a really good team with a guy that people think is like potentially like the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, no, it was a huge win. I think.
Yeah.
I think the Viking stars showed out. Justin Jefferson, what an insane catch!
Yeah, 4th and 18. I think I was thinking about this, and I was watching some people talk about it. I think you can argue it's the greatest catch of all time because like time and place, at least regular season, because time and place, you drop that ball, the game's over.
Yeah,
he catches it, game continues, and obviously like they didn't score, and then the fumbled snap or whatever. But
I mean, I don't think it can beat the David Tyree catch, but you know.
Yeah, David Tyree, but I guess regular season.
You only forget the Patriots.
Yeah, I guess I coincidentally forgot that one. We'll say regular season.
Yeah, I mean that catch was insane.
Because the Giants have had some crazy catches. It's like Tyree, and then there was the Mario Manningham. Like that was also Eli Manning just dropped a dart, and then there's also the one in Odell's catch was crazy. Yeah. There was the Super Bowl one with the Seahawks with Curse.
Oh yeah.
We thought But time and place, his Jefferson catch was like...
No, it was insane. I mean, Kirk actually, he kind of just threw that one up.
That one was just up. I mean, honestly, like, there's a picture of it. I don't know if you've seen it, where, like, the cornerback had his whole hand on the ball. It's like Justin Jefferson, caught this ball, and you just wouldn't believe it.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Kirk, I guess he did his part. Like, he did what he needed to do in the end.
Kirk's having the best year of his career.
Yeah.
And it may not show statistically, but like he looks like poised. You know, end of games. Yeah. He's iced out.
I mean, I don't know. I still don't trust them, but like the thing is, the NFC is not great in my opinion. So
NFC is not great.
The thing is, like, who knows? It's like one of those situations. Like last year, obviously we thought the Chiefs were going to come out, but the Bengals did. But I feel like there's even more of a chance for one of those teams to come out of the
NFC, a team to just sneak out of the NFC.
Because it's like
I
mean, the Eagles today look like,
Yeah, I mean, I think there's...
Unbeatable, so...
Well, yeah, I think the Vikings are tied with the Eagles now for best record in the league.
Yeah, one loss, so...
But so that was the game of the week, easily.
Yeah. Crazy one.
Crazy, but we'll shift focus to the poverty franchise that is the Chicago Bears. And I mean, even more poverty than the Lions, I guess, is what we found out.
I guess now. And we definitely should have won that game, but...
There was, I mean, I think the first thing we could talk about is like Justin Fields. I think he's shown growth. Like I still don't think he still doesn't really throw for 200 yards, and that's fine. Neither is like Zach Wilson or like a lot of other young players aren't. I think what he's done is he's like recognized when he needs to like make his move out of the pocket and take off. I mean, he's got crazy speed, and I have him on my fantasy team, so I'm always a fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown he's probably the best running quarterback in the league. I would even take him ahead of Lamar.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Lamar's on another level. I don't know about that.
Like Justin Fields is Justin Fields looks like, I don't know who's faster. I haven't seen this.
He might be faster, but Lamar is just elusive.
Lamar's elusive. I mean,
he's elusive though. In the not open field, if you hand off the ball to Lamar Jackson as a running back, I think he would be a good running back.
Yeah. I think it's just because Justin Fields is a bit bigger and he can bulldoze his way. But I mean, if someone's trying to be more elusive, I would obviously take Lamar because he knows how to throw a football. But Justin Fields looks pretty dangerous, honestly.
I mean, that being said, I think Justin Fields is up there.
Yeah.
And he's gotten better at making the layup throws, and I think he had one really head scratching play that probably cost him the game in some sense. Yeah. But overall, I'm not putting this one on him. I don't think he played as good of a game as his fantasy points might show, but.
He put up 30 points.
He put up 30 points. You should win a game when you put up 30 points. I think is the expectation against the Lions and the Bears defense. I mean, they traded away a lot of their talent on the defensive end, but Jared Goff was dicing them up, and they just didn't. They didn't the Lions traded away their tight end. They're not. The Lions aren't really trying to win. And they're.
I don't think the Bears are though. To be fair, either.
Yeah, that's fair.
We've got some good picks, but
that's fair.
Yeah, but those are as a fan, you want to see us win that game, but then you're like, oh wait,
yeah, I mean,
a good pick. We're not going to do anything this year.
And honestly, they make the extra point, they probably do win that game in overtime. So
that was bad. Yeah,
but that was just. I mean, I feel like we just talking about that one just to talk about kind of the growth of Fields and the same old Bears. But we can move over to their rivals, the Packers.
That was actually America's game of the week.
That was, but it was a really good game. It just the Bills-Vikings were just on another level. But the Packers came back. It was the first time Rodgers was meeting up with Mike McCarthy since their divorce.
Who did you want to win that one, McCarthy or Rodgers?
Honestly, I honestly didn't care. I'm not a big fan of either team, and it was kind of I think the Packers come out of it feeling pretty good because they now are kind of in the playoff hunt. I think
4-6. I mean,
they have a chance, and the thing is, like we just said, any team can probably make it out of the NFC this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Packers have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's like kind of we'll talk about the Bucs later, but when you have Aaron Rodgers, you always have a chance.
Yeah.
Cowboys looked good for a bit. Dak threw some interceptions that were.
Poor interceptions.
Yeah, and
he did make some good throws,
he made some good throws. He threw the ball a lot.
Yeah, he did. I don't know. I can never trust the Cowboys. I feel like they're always good, but
I mean, it's the same story with them.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna beat the Niners or any of those teams in the playoffs. I mean, they almost did beat them last year, but
I
just can't trust them.
But again, like we said, the NFC is wide open.
Yeah,
they are 6-3, so their division is just ridiculous.
Solid, it's pretty crazy, but
it was a good game. I think the Packers come out of it feeling pretty good though.
Rodgers has to be happy. Watson 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he looked like kind of like a bust early on in the season. Yeah. This was his coming out party.
He even dropped a few passes before his first touchdown, but
he was struggling early in the game, and then he had a monster game by the end of it.
Yeah.
And yes, so speaking of the Cowboys division though being really tough, there was a big upset in that divisional with the Commanders just hours ago.
Yeah, we had a good friend who predicted that one, but that was kind of crazy. I thought the Eagles were kind of gonna run away with it, especially after the first couple of
plays.
When they got the fumble and everything, and then you're like, oh man, this is gonna be a blowout probably.
Yeah,
but the Commanders held in there. I think the Eagles got kind of unlucky too with fumble.
There was a missed call, but there was also a missed call the other way.
And then the other receiver fumbling. I don't really put this one on Hurts. I think Hurts played pretty well.
I don't put it on Hurts. The pick that he threw was actually not a terrible ball. It was just a crazy, unlucky play.
Yeah.
But I was playing against him in fantasy, so I was happy he threw a pick.
But
the Commanders. I think the Commanders they've got to come out. Ron Rivera's got to say Taylor Heineke's our quarterback moving forward.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah, Carson. Yeah. I mean, Heineke's not incredible, but
no.
But I think the locker room loves him.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Like, if they make the playoffs, he could win one game. Like, you never know with his.
I mean, they almost beat the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks. We won the Super Bowl that year.
That was with Heineke, right? Yeah. And he had that crazy Russian touchdown.
Oh yeah.
And Chase Young's been hurt. Is he coming back?
I don't know. Honestly, I think he might be on.
Maybe
if they make the playoffs.
But I think that team is their only hope is like they need like some momentum, and they've got it with Heineke. So I think
no, I mean they looked awful. Even though they won that game against the Bears, I remember with Wentz, like they were so bad. But now they're actually more fun to watch. I mean Heineke, he's exciting. The ball to the receivers, McLaurin and stuff now. So it's good to get him going for you.
Scary Terry's on my fantasy team.
Shout out to that was a fun game to watch though. Yeah,
that was a great game. We can talk about the Bucs Seahawks. I'm going to be fully honest here. It was in Germany, and I was fast asleep after a night out.
Yeah, so was I. But the Bucs won. Looked like they took the lead pretty early.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah.
You see that Leonard Fournette pick where he was throwing the ball to Tom Brady? Yeah. That was funny.
Who called that one? That was so bad.
That was an interesting play call.
What's his name? Byron Leftwich?
Yeah, because he's still the coordinator there, but I wonder if Todd Bowles, like, I don't know what the decision was there, but that was weird because they had
terrible.
Like, usually when you do that, you're throwing it to your like in open space, but that was like a full on Tom Brady ran a route.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that was. I mean, imagine if Tom Brady got hurt on that.
Yeah, I mean
that was a weird play. Funny, He fell down. Yeah,
they were really trying to pull something out of the bag,
but the reason I think we talk about this game,
no reason to run routes.
Yeah, the reason we talk about this game though is I mean, I don't know. The Seahawks are like maybe kind of pretenders, but a good big win for the Bucs.
Yeah,
two in a row.
I mean, like I said, I put the Bucs as my one of my teams to compete out of the NFC. Like even when they were 3-5.
I can see it now. Not necessarily because they've won 2 games, but just because like the NFC doesn't really look that good.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. Yeah. Like I'm sorry, the Giants should not be 7. Like the Giants are good. Don't get me wrong, but they're not a 7-2 caliber team.
Yeah, but again, they're one of those teams that could probably compete then, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Because anything can happen.
Yeah. But we'll see.
We'll see. Still think, Gino's been incredible this year.
He has. He played an okay game.
Played an okay game. I mean, I think he could win comeback player of the year, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, coming back from just like being bad.
Yeah. He was just he didn't really play it much.
But now he's a good quarterback, so.
Yeah, no. I mean, they're still 6-4, like.
They're leading their division.
They're leading their division. I think the 49ers end up winning that division, but...
Yeah. But who would have thought this far in the season that they'd be leading that division of all...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No one, so...
So it's them, Niners, Rams, and
Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals.
Cardinals are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams are even worse now, though, because...
Yeah, and the Rams just lost to the Cardinals. Oh, yeah, okay, so...
The backups.
Yeah, I don't know what the Rams are...
Poverty franchises right now.
Yeah, that's yeah. So we'll talk about another mess of a team, the Raiders, losing to the Colts with Jeff Saturday coming out of the parking lot to coach the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the right call to move Matt Ryan back into the starting lineup. Like, Ellinger wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I just, I don't think Matt Ryan's really the answer either.
Yeah, no.
But,
I mean, Colts aren't going to do much, I feel like, but...
This is more about the Raiders, just what is going on there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I think McDaniel probably will get, a short leash into next season, but this is kind of like a pathetic coaching job. Like, they made the playoffs last year.
Yeah. Did you see Derek Carr was crying after the game?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be crying too.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he makes a lot of money. I'm sure he's fine. No, but I mean, their team is just, I don't know. And, they went and they paid Devontae Adams all this money, and for what?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's been putting up good numbers, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to win games.
It's just, for whatever reason, not a very good team.
Yeah, defense hasn't been great, honestly, towards the end of games.
Offense isn't really that great either.
It hasn't been taking either. But, yeah.
But then, so I think that kind of moves us back to what we were talking about earlier, but who do we got as real contenders? So I think, at least in my opinion, I think you got to put the Dolphins up there as a real contender.
Yeah. I think the Dolphins are legit.
Their offense is
I think they're
a powerhouse.
Yeah. Their offense is cooking. Tua looks pretty insane.
I still got the Bills up there.
Oh, yeah.
They're still, they're third in their division now.
I think, honestly,
Chiefs, obviously.
Yeah. I think, in my opinion, the best teams in the NFL are the Chiefs, Dolphins, and the Bills. So, like, I wouldn't even put the Vikings, even though they won, or the Eagles.
That's
I
fair.
think the AFC is the 3 best teams in the NFL.
I agree.
Right
I
now.
agree.
I think Dolphins' defense still needs a little work, but with Chubb and everyone getting in there, I think they'll be better. But those 3 teams are just going to be scary.
Well, the Ravens got to be up there.
Yeah. The Ravens are always there, but I just never trust them in the playoffs.
That's fair.
I need to see Lamar win, like, I don't know.
That's fair.
I need to see him get to an AFC championship and like
the Bengals are always knocking on the door.
They're a dark horse, yeah.
I think Deshaun's coming back this week for the Browns, but I think it might be a little too late there. And who knows how good he hasn't played football in however long.
Yeah.
That's just like we'll see what happens there. But
yeah.
And then who else do we got? We got the AFC is just loaded.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's very division concentrated too. Like some divisions are just so tough.
Yeah, like Chiefs, Chargers.
AFC East, man. As a Patriots fan, like
that's probably
they're last in their division.
I mean, I think that's the best division right now. Even though the NFC East, I think, or what is it? NFC
East has like the crazy, yeah.
But I think the AFC.
Do we think the Jets are any legit team or
no?
I think
a quarterback. I mean, I was like very surprised they beat the Bills. Like that was just a bad loss. I think, honestly. Yeah. Like their defense played well. Like they have a good defense, which is like
they have a good defense.
Them. But I don't see the Jets winning a playoff game.
Their offensive line is also pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
So they're
great. And they lost Breece Hall too.
They lost Breece Hall.
But
Sauce Gardner though might already be. I think he's going to be first team All Pro if he keeps it up.
He's a beast.
He's a beast.
Their other corner, I forget his name too. He's really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't trust the Jets.
You don't trust the Jets?
No.
And just similarly, like say with the Giants, I don't really trust them. But
I don't trust the Giants.
But like we said, teams can slip around in the NFC. It's not a very like. There's not a lot of teams that I trust in the NFC. Like we've never seen the Eagles with the current roster do anything.
Yeah.
Like we said, we haven't seen the Vikings do anything. So like this probably bodes well for like this is like a good year for like a team like the Packers or someone to like sneak in.
Yeah.
Because they do have experience.
Exactly.
Same with the Bucs.
It's also it's one game. Like every game is one game. You're not playing a series, so anything can happen in a game, which is like why it's so wide open. I think. Yeah.
So then now let's go back to the MVP race. So this is where it gets interesting because for a while there, Josh Allen seemed like the leading candidate.
Yeah.
But last couple of weeks he's been pretty bad.
Yeah.
By his standards, and so I think it's got to be either Mahomes or Hurts.
I guess Hurts, yeah.
But I think it's Tua. I mean, Tua's
been good, but he's been out a couple of games. I think if Tua continues, like, if he's playing really well, like he'll definitely be in the conversation. I think Mahomes is there though.
I'm not sold on Tua being like in the MVP conversation only because I think this is kind of like one of those players. Tua's one of those players that's a good player, accurate player. Teammates like him, but I think this is similar to like Goff and like the Rams franchise when you have this offensive mind like McVay or McDaniel, and they come in, they reinvigorate the team. You put like really good talent around him, like and like Goff is a really good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but like I don't know if Tua's as good as his numbers are forecasting.
No, I agree. I mean, he obviously has Waddle and Hill who are going to help you. Like
who are both crazy
in the game. Yeah, like they're going to help you a lot. But I think he's better than Jared Goff was even that year that they made the Super Bowl. Like to put up 3 points against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Like
I mean, we haven't seen Tua in the playoffs yet, but
that's true.
But I agree. I mean, I would probably take him over Goff, but I don't even remember. Goff had some of the best performances.
The Chiefs game was insane.
Chiefs game, and then against the Vikings, he had a perfect passer rating. He threw like 450 yards or something.
I honestly don't know what happened with Goff.
I think what happened was he wasn't as good as his performances were showing. He had just a crazy amount of talent, but he was a good player. Like it was like one of those players that first round talent. I think it was first overall pick. I think I'm not saying that's going to happen to Tua, but I'm just saying like let's hold off on just like crowning Tua as like an elite player.
No, I agree. I mean,
I was seeing people say he's better than Herbert now because of this year.
No,
if you put Herbert in that offense,
I mean, if you put a lot of quarterbacks in that offense, they're going to be insane. But
plus, Mike McDaniel deserves a lot of credit. He's a heck of a coach.
He's a great coach. Yeah, I mean,
who do we think is coach of the year right now?
Probably whoever the Vikings coach is, I would say.
Okay. I was thinking Brian Daboll.
I think Daboll, but
because nobody expected the Giants to be any good. Or Saleh can be up there, too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think... I mean, people didn't really expect the Vikings to be good, but they do have weapons. They do have like more weapons, I would say, than like the Giants or the Jets.
I mean, the Giants were literally looking like
I wouldn't have been Dable, yeah.
Because I wouldn't have been surprised if like we were at like if where we were starting the year, if the Giants were like one of the worst teams in the league. I would not have been surprised.
No, exactly. I mean,
same with the Jets though. So
yeah, no, that's true. I think the Vikings are more talented than both those teams, but I would honestly probably give it to Dable over Saleh, but
yeah, and I think obviously like the reason I asked the question was because I was talking about McDaniel. I think McDaniel will definitely get votes.
Yeah,
he deserves it. And I think
there's so many new teams that are so good, so it's gonna be pretty spread.
I think Dable deserves it though overall.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think he's working with the least on offense. Like obviously has Saquon, but Daniel Jones is like okay, like they don't have really good like great wide receiver weapons.
Yeah,
defense really no one was expecting to be that great. So yeah. I mean, 7-2 for that team is.
But that team's crazy.
That's pretty.
I mean, again, they're in the NFC, but still.
Yeah. But still,
Okay, so then, I think the MVP contenders, like we were saying. You might even have to put Saquon in there.
Yeah.
You might have to start thinking about putting Tyreek Hill in there.
Yeah, I know.
The way he's been playing.
But it's just that offense is so talented. It's like.
Yeah.
They still have Waddle, who's been putting up insane numbers. Like.
I think if it ended today, I think I would give it to Mahomes.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I think you got to give Geno like some love.
Yeah, I mean, 6. Yeah, you do.
The team's doing really well.
I don't know. He's like outside looking in though, definitely.
Oh yeah, I agree. But who else is up there that's been playing really well?
I feel like that's kind of it for the offensive.
Yeah,
I mean, Burrow's been good, but.
Burrow's been
good, but
Burrow's had some crazy games. Lamar's had some crazy games. Herbert in the beginning of the season was really good, and then he got hurt, and everyone else in their team got hurt.
Yeah. It's not been great for them.
Yeah, I think that's probably like the key guys though.
Yeah.
In the MVP race. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that covers it.
Yeah, but I think we kind of ran through a lot of information, but it was our first podcast since we got like these new microphones and everything. We've
new setup.
Yeah, instead of just doing it in front of an iMovie camera, which was fun, but we thought it was time to like upgrade a little bit, and we needed to set it up and everything. So that's why we took a break from posting for a bit. So yeah, please feel free to subscribe, and also give us like feedback, because I think there's still like lots that we can improve on.
Any feedback would be very, very helpful. We're still very new at this, so we want to make it interesting and also like engaging for everyone to watch. So just hit us with the like and subscribe and the feedback, and this has been the Taylor Park Boys. Hopefully we'll get this one posted soon.
Yep. Thank you guys.